Hello YPMs. Okay, this video is specifically for sisters. We are going to go over a very beginning level of a way to warm up, also some stretching for beginners, and then some strength and conditioning things that you can do to get your core and your arms a little bit stronger. So this will be a short video, and you can take these movements and steps and do it to any music you want, anytime you want, but this is a great way to start out before you jump into any of the dance moves that we have been learning. Okay, we're back in the studio with Lily. We've got some music in the background because it makes jumping jacks easier. We're gonna start with jumping jacks. And you just wanna go for it until you start breaking a sweat. So jumping jacks are a good way to start, and then moving to like jump rope after that, where we just jump. You can circle your arms. You'll probably want to do it a little longer than we're doing it here. We're just going to give you a demonstration. So we're going to do some bounces into squats here. Bounce, deep squat. Yes, and this is great because not only is it stretching you a little bit, but it's working strength. Okay, moving on. You have high knees. This is an awesome way to just work those hip flexors, just get everything warm from the hips down. And then we have a kick your bum run, where you just kick back, and that's great for the quads, kind of gets you stretching. Okay, so if you spend, you're good, thanks Lily. If you spend, 5 minutes doing those things, you should be like breaking a sweat. Okay, so you want to get warm before you stretch. Moving on to some stretches. It's great to start with our head. Just give some nice up and down, get your neck warm, side to sides. Yes, and we circle both directions. And then we're gonna move to our shoulders here. Just rolling your shoulders back. And this is gonna help you if you're prone to headaches or tension. This is just great to loosen things up. You do one shoulder at a time, going back and then front. Okay, moving on. Torso. We just wanna kind of stretch out side to side. Sorry, Lily. Yep. And these are isolations. It can be a little tricky at first, but it just warms up that torso. Let's go ahead, Lily, and stretch over to the side. Yeah, that will just work right the side of your torso. You can hold it as long as you feel like you need. And then she goes to the front. And this works that the hamstring, sorry. Wrong muscle. She holds it down. And then we come and we repeat this on the other side, stretching that side of her torso there. We lost our music, so it's really not quite as fun right now. All right, and she holds it down. Okay, continuing on with our stretching here. We have a nice deep squat. We're just gonna sit here for a minute. You can push that shoulder forward, pushing it towards the opposite knee. And then both elbows rest on the knee. If you want to sway side to side a little bit, it can kind of help to loosen up those muscles, which is really helpful. All right, moving on. Lily's going to, will you stand again and just push straight down to stretch the hamstrings one more time? Yep. And go as far as you can go. If you can't completely grab your ankles like Lily, then you'll want to bend your knees and come straight. Bend your knees and come back up straight. Yes. Okay. From here, we're going to go into a runner's lunge, taking it straight down. Yep. This is just it's great for strength and also for stretching. Lily, will you go back, sit, turn and face me, and then go to the other side through center? Yep. Perfect. Yep. And rocking back and forth just ever so slightly can also just help to just really relax and loosen things so you don't get stiff in the position. Okay, let's sit on the floor. We're gonna do a butterfly stretch. It's important here to keep your back really flat. So So I'm actually gonna walk around here and let you see when she tucks down back. Really show us a curved back so we can see that's incorrect. And we wanna just keep it nice and flat. Yes, all right. And you can hold that as long as you feel like you need. Perfect. Okay, here we are in just second. We're out in second. Pointed toes, make sure that your legs are not turned in. And again, we're just stretching over to reach that opposite foot. You can hold that as long as you need to. And then we face our toe and reach backwards. And go only as far as you can. Don't try and hurt yourself. And pushing forward, she holds it down to her knee. If you can't come to your knee, that's just fine. Walk around front, really reaching the whole entire time to face that other foot. Reaching at the toe. Very nice. We come and we are going to reach back again before we face that toe and come down to our knee. Perfect. Thank you, Lily. All right, we are moving on to some movements that will help you strength-wise. So we're gonna do some simple arm movements. They're so easy. We start in first position, which is a nice circle, and it goes out to second. And we just keep doing this. You wanna pretend like you're swimming in Jello or pudding or something, and you're pushing. Second, we're lifting our arms straight up and curving in. We're gonna do this on both sides. And it's the same thing. Get that resistance, keeping that other arm out and strong. It's really gonna help as well. Beautiful. Okay. And straight up, straight down, in, up, down, in. Find that spot right in the middle too, because that's a moment. You don't wanna just pass through it. Okay, we're doing our circles, nice fists. You circle both directions, and I promise you, if you do this long enough, you'll feel it. This is pushing out. Tiny, tiny little pushes. She's gonna flip her hands back and push backwards. And this, I would recommend doing these movements. This is slowly coming up. I'd recommend doing these movements. Try and do a full minute, and then go from there. Slow up and slow down. And if you can get through like a minute, then you want to push to 2 and 3. Okay, our second thing we're going to do will be planks. So, down on the floor in a nice plank position. I'm going to walk around here so you can see everything's perfectly flat here, and she's just holding it. Okay, we're going to start doing some combinations here. This is rocking forward and back, and if you can keep that position strong and flat and engage your core, oh my goodness, it's going to do wonders for your dancing. We're just touching the outside of our hips, barely touching the floor. And this you'll feel, I promise. Okay, and one foot out, then back in. She makes it look so easy, but I promise you, you'll feel it for sure. Okay, now coming up to our hands and back down. We'll do that a few times. And that finishes our plank combination right there. All right, moving on, laying flat down on your back. We're gonna bring our legs up. This is gonna work flexibility and strength. We have cross, cross, out. Cross, cross, out. Yep. And only go as far as you can, but try and keep those legs pointed. And we have a little tiny bounce, really small. And then she's gonna slowly come up and slowly go back out. And you'll do that a few times. Slowly in and slowly out. Perfect. And that I would recommend, I mean, we're just demonstrating, so I'd recommend doing that, several times, maybe 3 or 4 sets of that. Okay, last thing here. These are just pushing our leg up to the ceiling. This is really gonna engage your glute and your outside hip. So it goes up to the ceiling, then it comes straight out. And these muscles are so important. It's gonna help with your jumps. It will help with the flexibility of your hips, getting your fan kicks really nice and pretty. And I would suggest doing 3 sets of maybe 8 on each leg of those. Perfect. Thank you, Lily.